Hi, it's Dave here, senior recruiter at Aardvark Swift, and I'm here with Roman, co-founder of Overview Orc, who's here to speak to us about the culture of the team they've built there. So, tell us all about it, Roman. What have you building? What's your plans for the future?
Yeah, well, we're building a massively multiplayer online platform that is, at the same time as being an online game, also connects up real concerts happening in the world into a huge virtual concert platform. So, in the first stages of the project, we've already signed up different venues, and the aim is to be able to make it so that every concert in the world would be able to be streamed into it easily. So, from the point of view of a venue, you can have a one-to-one digital twin of your concert happening. From the point of view of an artist, you can perform to people who aren't in that town that you're performing in live, to people who've got disabilities and can't make the show, people who can't afford tickets, or maybe the show's sold out. So there's all these different, I think what we've learned in the pandemic, what the music industry certainly learned, is that virtual concerts are a different type of concert experience that people are willing to, not only are people willing to pay for it, but there's a way of doing them really, really well, and there's a way of doing them really badly. And I think it's an art form that's evolving in the same way that indie gaming evolved, in the same way that the expression of using code, game design, user interaction, that can build into something that is memorable and powerful and moving. And I think combine that with music and discovery of music and being in a weird bar that you've never been to before, and seeing someone who becomes your favorite artist of all time, and meeting people who are also fans of them and suddenly becoming friends with them is something that lends itself really well to the way that the communication and socializing works online.
Sure.
I mean, the thing we found is, like, so obviously this is as much as it is a game, it is also a tool for artists and a tool for the music industry. And the thing that the thing that the music industry and artists sometimes, when they sometimes they see themselves as a complete polar opposites to the gaming world, gaming culture, and gaming community, but I think they're increasingly becoming the same thing. We've seen people who usually go to concerts who would never have dreamt of downloading Fortnite, being in concert, playing, find themselves in a game. And then this, equally, people who played games their whole lives would never have gone to a concert, going to a virtual concert, and the two worlds kind of colliding, and in an interesting way. And so what we found is, in the team that we've been building, the people who've really got what we were doing, first of all, there's a sort of a sense of passion towards music, or towards the idea of what we could do with it. Second of all, there's this idea that we are really trying to push what gaming can do and what games are. So we're trying to see how the things and the art form itself of game design, the things that have worked in the past, which have been these like breakthroughs in the way that human beings interact with digital worlds, that we need to be able to use those and simulate what's great about a concert, all the tiny little aspects that we discussed earlier, like even the drive to the show, or stopping and meet on a bus and seeing someone come on with the same t-shirt, and you suddenly get that you're both going to do all these things that are there as ways of simulating those. And we, even in the earliest test we've did, we've always got people who have met up through these things. Like one guy who is in the Philippines and another guy who lives in Argentina, and they've become mates because they both went to these concerts. And if they were just doing an FPS and just jumping in there, maybe they would have become friends. But the relationship they formed out of it, for me, is a microcosm of how this could really work, and why the team is so crucial. Because the team that we've got so far, people who are, as well as they're being passionate, they're people who are keen to relearn everything as they go. Because there is one, because gaming now as an industry, as an art form, has existed so long, you do get a kind of, and we've already spoken, this is the way this works, son. Which is great, because that means there are these proper like veterans who've done it years and years and years. And then there are people who are literally have been like 19-year-olds who pick up Unreal and can use it like mad, complete geniuses. And then equally, there's people who we've encountered who are industry veterans who've been doing it for years, but they're incredible because they're just great at relearning, and they never think they've sussed it all out. And so in a way, it's a difficult thing to look for in a team, but when you find it, you just get it straight away, because they're people who like, we're not doing a traditional game, but we're needing to draw on the last 30 years of video game design and go, well, this works, or this dynamic works. So.
Well, who knows? In 30 years' time, people might be saying, "Look at what Roman did. We could do that."
Well, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, the idea of game design and the tools behind it. Things like Unity and Unreal and the explosion of indie titles, really, that for me is the same as the explosion of indie music. It's like that if everyone can use these tools, then yes, you get tons and tons of terrible music and terrible games out there, but you also get people who would never have made it through the studio system, and they're geniuses, and they have something to express. And that, I feel like, that is, as a company, as well as us wanting to help artists and musicians use these new platforms and tools and the metaverse itself, I feel like we've got a responsibility to kind of find the sort of talent that maybe wouldn't have fit into, you know, a 700 person team at Blizzard, because we're not just looking for the conventional run of the mill sort of AAA studio guy or girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, there's a place for all these different types of people, I think, in this, because we're supposed to be thinking outside the box. So we're supposed to be thinking, you know, well, there are people who've got talent who perhaps need to be given a chance or nurtured, or perhaps have some great ideas and are just willing to learn. And I think that that's much more important to us, that we have a team of people who are daring to try things out and who are working in an interesting way.
Yeah, absolutely.